Hello everybody, this is Hockey Pones, and you are watching a shift-by-shift video with commentary on 2015 draft-eligible player Ryan Pilon of the Brandon Wheat Kings. As with all of my other shift-by-shift videos, this is not a highlight reel. This is just going to be a little bit of an informal discussion on his skills and style of play. This is going to be a little bit different from my other commentary videos, where I'm not going to comment on the entire video or during the entire video. It's going to switch back and forth in between what I'm talking about. You're going to hear the announcers talk. I will try to have the transition as seamless as possible, so it's not like all weird. This is my first attempt at doing this, so I apologize if it doesn't turn out too well. It's still a work in progress. This was just a good suggestion on one of the regular viewers who want me to. I've had some people tell me that they want me to comment on the videos and they missed that, which I definitely appreciate that, you guys, and so thank you, and I hope that this is sufficient. But at the same time, just to try to spare on some time, I'm not going to talk throughout the entire video. So anyway, some things about Pilon. First of all, he is the nephew of former NHLer Rich Pilon, and so he has that NHL lineage in him, which, always helps. I think that players who have some hockey, professional hockey in the family, they just have that resource to help prepare them better to become NHL players, which I think is a big bonus. The other thing to talk about him immediately is he has an NHL style frame. He's listed at 6'2", 212 pounds. So as he matures and plays in the higher rankings, he's going to have that NHL body to basically handle the tougher players, which I think is a big thing to take into consideration. Now, in this game, Pilon is going to score 2 assists. One is on the power play, and you're going to see just a wide variety of his skills and play during this game. He is used in all situations, which, if you're a follower of my videos, I'm a big fan of players with a lot of utility. So you're going to see him at even strength, on the power play, on the penalty kill, and so the fact that he's getting so many minutes at such a young age, I think, is always a big bonus. In terms of his style of play, while considering the role he has, I would consider him a two-way defenseman. And whenever I classify defensemen, especially on the offense, I classify them as if they're puck-carrying or puck-distributing defensemen. And by that I mean, given the option of, or if both options are available, what is the defenseman more likely to do on the breakout? And in Pilon's case, which you'll see right here, well, not so much here, but in Pilon's case, I think he is more of a puck-carrying defenseman. He loves to rush up the ice with the puck, and while he'll still distribute it, I think that he excels in moving on high speeds while carrying the puck. In terms of his strengths, I think that his skating ability is top-notch, and he does have a lot of creativity and confidence with the puck, which, especially for a young player, I think that, again, has quite an impact on development. Whereas if a player loses confidence or loses his trust in himself, then he might be less likely to take chances and to try to learn from his mistakes. And these are kids, let's face it, and they're not going to get better unless if they take chances and learn from their mistakes. So the fact that he has that confidence and is willing to keep trying, I think, is a big bonus. in this shift, it's going to take a while for the goal to be scored, but this is one of the shifts where Pilon gets a secondary assist. I'm not going to talk about it too much because for all intents and purposes, this is going to sound wrong, but I mean, Pilon was kind of a non-factor in the goal, where, I mean, he gets an assist for passing off to the side, and then the primary assist that Jace Harlock into the slot. So that's not to take away from Pilon getting an assist there. I mean, of course, he deserves it, but in terms of having an impact on creating a scoring chance, there's not really a whole lot for me to gloss over or talk about, so I'm just going to leave it at that. Now, on to some things where I feel he could use some improvement. First of all, I don't think that he has that much of a mean streak, and again, I mean, this is just more of a commentary on his style of play. Not every player has to be a bastard on the ice. So that's not to say that if he doesn't develop a mean streak, he's going to fail in the NHL. But just there are times when I think he could be a little bit more assertive towards the opposition when they're in his space, and I think sometimes he just kind of shies away from it. But again, that's just a remark on his style, so maybe it was wrong to call that a weakness. Because there are times that you'll see later on when he gets in the face of a player and might face wash him or shove him, especially when there was a dirty hit. So he's not a cream puff or totally soft. I'm just saying, sorry, I'm rambling too much. But the other thing that I think he could work on is there are times he just seems to pinch in too much or overcommits, and he can create danger for his team. And again, these are learning experiences for a young player, so it's not to say that he's going to be a failure in the NHL because he makes a mistake. But it's just an issue where he needs to learn the times to jump in and the time to hold back, and that's just a learning process. The other thing, from an offensive point of view, is while he is very patient with the puck and he is very confident with the puck, I think there are times when he takes way too much time to fire it off, and that can, what was I going to say? If he doesn't fire off the shot fast enough, then it gives the goaltender time to set up and get ready for the shot, which of course mitigates the scoring opportunity. Anyway, I am going to shut up for a little bit now and let you listen to some of the in-game audio, but I will definitely chime back in a bit.
Contest. Pilon near the left-hand point with it, fired a shot in that's turned aside by Parento. Gennaro will collect it and play it up ahead. Glover will try to roll this puck down, and did, deep into the Brandon zone. Tried to chase in there after. It gets tangled up with Pilon, and Brandon takes control of it, and Urkamp's with it. And he gave it to Pilon, who starts out of his own end. 15 seconds left in the Waltz penalty before Brandon goes to the power play. Peter Quinville sending this one down deep into the Raiders zone, bumping with Heffley along the end boards. Got the puck out, Urkamp's front of the net for Reed Duke, and just getting a piece of it, Andrelek, as it came in to knock it away. Puck is cleared here by Prince Albert. No icing as it was on goal. Would have been icing, was Waltz wasn't quite out of the box when they played that puck up ice. Now the Waltz penalty is over, and Brandon is on the power play. We're playing this Western Manitoba Co-op Food Store power play for Betty Golding of Brandon. And Betty, if the Week King score here, will put your name into our monthly draw for a $100 gift card from your West.
I am going to jump back in here for just a moment because there is a power play goal scored against the Brandon Wheat Kings here, and I think it just gets misplayed in a couple different ways, and while one particular misplay doesn't have a direct impact, I think it's just a series of bad decisions on the entire team. Like here, for example, Pilon and the forward getting up together on one forward, and when you're on the penalty kill, you're effectively making 2 out of your 4 people dedicated to one guy. If you're unable to get the puck, then that just leaves so much more ice for the rest of the team to decide on what to do. In this case, the puck does get loose, and Prince Albert is able to skate in and score what I think is a bad goal. I think that the goalie could have had that, but I mean, we're talking about Pilon here, and so I'm just going to leave it at that. In Pilon's case, that was one of the examples where I said he sometimes might pinch in a little bit too much or overcommit. And granted, that was his guide from the get-go. So, I mean, there was a little bit of a miscommunication there between Pilon and the forward, where, you know, only one of them should have really bothered to try to fight with the guy for the puck. So, I'm not saying it's all on Pilon. I'm just saying how that was misplayed, and Pilon's part of it. But as I said, don't read too much into this. This is just for information and just for discussion purposes. God forbid, you know, we prophesize on what a player's career will be, you know, based off of one day at work as an 18-year-old. So, as I always ask, try not to read too much into this stuff. Just enjoy it for what it is. It's a video so you can see what Pilon looks like, and you can get a gauge on the type of player he is if your organization happens to draft him. But anyway, I'm going to shut up again and bring back the in-game audio, so I hope you continue to enjoy.
Back around the Brandon net, and now Urquhart will send it up on the left-hand side. Lissaway turns it over. Dylan Stewart cuts into the slot area. Shot goes off Pilon. Another attempt here by Dylan Stewart is blocked in front of the net. Stewart now getting a pass out into the slot area. Kaspic knocked it away. Pilon steps up after a loose puck and brings it up ice down the right wing side for Brandon. Pilon tried to go cross ice with a pass to Lissaway, and that was off the stick of the Raider defenseman as Lees defended that well. Puck along the near side boards, down in the corner. Lee's tied up there with Lissaway. Kaspic in there as well for Brandon, pulling the puck free, but checked as he got in behind the Prince Albert net. He knocks Gooley down as he tries to get control of the puck, and it's played back around on the near side boards. Pilon jumping up there after it. Tangled up with Montgomery, but comes away with the puck. Leaves it on the near side boards for Jace Howerluck. Knocked off his stick. It gets to the line. Pilon with it. A wrist shot toward the net. Tipped by Patrick wide. Coulter behind the Raiders goal here for Brandon. Will play it to the near side boards for Howerluck. Cross to the right-hand point. Urquhart will dish it over to Pilon. Pilon's going to take a shot. Deflected off the stick high and wide of the Prince Albert net. Urquhart's trying to keep it alive, and they do. It's played in deep. Coulter left it along the end boards. Howerluck trying to come out front. Got it to Coulter. Shuffled it toward the net, and that went wide of the mark. Centered back out in front and intercepted by Dylan Stewart. He'll just play it up an open wing, and that puck will knuckle down into the Brandon zone. Brandon Wheat Kings with a 3-1 lead over the Prince Albert Raiders with 3:15 to go second period here at Westbank Communications Group Place. Penalty coming up against Brandon. Going to be a hooking call here against Braylon Schmier. Shot attempt here by Gardner off the side of the Brandon net. Gardner throws it back out in front. Going to be intercepted by Buchart. Camp's clearing attempt goes off of the Raider forward Glover. Then it was played by Pilon as it bounced to him all the way back down the ice. And I guess the word from the league office was that play should have been stopped. Goaltender loses a glove that's knocked off by an opponent, play would be stopped. If he loses it himself, it would not be. And the situation with Paperny that night was it was knocked off by an opponent. So play should have been stopped on that, and it should have not been a goal. Another 20 seconds left in this Raider power play. Loose puck controlled by Prince Albert in the offensive zone. Heffley mishandling it, and now Tim McGauley shorthanded trying to escape Gooley.
So I'm just going to jump back in again here just to add a little bit more commentary. We're into the third period now. But one of the things that I do really like about Pilon that I kind of mentioned, but I didn't really touch upon too much, which is kind of a surprise because I have a tendency to ramble. But I mentioned on how he is used in all different types of situations, the penalty kill, power play, and even strength. And to me, it's just kind of a big deal, not just because of the situations he does play in, but the volume, where when you take a look at this video, it's over 22 minutes long, which is a lot of ice time for an 18-year-old. Granted, some of that is based off of me adding a freeze frame here and there, but overall, the fact that Pilon is playing a lot of minutes, a lot of quality minutes. He's on the second penalty kill and first power play, and basically the second pairing at even strength. For such a young kid, that's a lot of promise. And I remember when the Kings had interviewed, or when one of the Kings scouts had talked about Roland McEwen, what they liked about him is he played, quote, dowdy minutes. And he's not saying that Roland McEwen was a dowdy-like player, but just that he played a very large sum of minutes and he was used in all situations, which I think is something to look at with Pilon. So I'm not trying to compare Pilon to Doughty or Pilon to McEwen. I'm just trying to say that he's a very mobile defenseman with a good deal of size, and he plays a lot of important and tough minutes, which I think any team who drafts him will, have a very solid player.
Into the Brandon net. Stransky along the end boards was checked as Pilon played it around to the far side. Controlled at the line by Heffley, played back into the far side corner. Pilon got it up ahead. Duke with an outlet pass, and the Wheat Kings up ice. John Quinville, right wing, got it to Duke, trying to get it to the front of the goal for Peter Quinville, but it deflected off a stick and rolled into Parento. So Howerluck ended up with an instigator penalty on that fight with Miette. And in that situation, the player on the other side, in this case, Corey Miette, should not have been given a game misconduct. Montgomery in on the left-hand side. Puck played around the Brandon net and ended up out now near the right-hand point. Gooley with it for the Raiders, trying to play it up on the far side, intercepted by Pilon. Brought up ice to center and played down deep into the Raiders' zone. 20 seconds left. Ollie, John Quinville, Bukarts, Ukamps, Pilon. Power play unit here for Brandon. Puck out near the line. Ukamps will play it up on the far side boards. Raiders are going to intercept it and clear it down the ice. Brandon regroups back near their own blue line. Tim McGauley, pass for Bukarts as he gains the Prince Albert line. Bukarts setting up on the far side here for Brandon. Will roll one out near the left-hand point for Ukamps. Ukamps back to Bukarts on the far side. Bukarts back up top to the line for Ukamps. Back to Bukarts on the far side. Takes the shot off the glove of Parento to the near side boards. Pilon after it down to the end boards for Duke. Will fend off his man and then gets taken down along the near side boards there by the defense.
Okay, so I'm going to jump in again here. This is where Pilon gets his second assist for the night, and it is on the power play. Again, it's a secondary assist, and unfortunately, it's not really generated by him creating a whole lot of traffic. He just, he moves the puck at the right time where the one-timer was scored. So I'm not going to talk too much about that. I did just want to point out that when I evaluate players, these are some of the things I look at, and in terms of how they generated the chance and what they did to contribute. And again, it's not to take away from what Pilon does, because I've already said that he is a very talented player. It's just in terms of the assists he got, they were secondary, and of course you can contribute a lot when it's a secondary assist, but he didn't really have to battle or take the puck away. He didn't change the momentum per se when it comes to moving the puck. It was just, unfortunately, for lack of a better word, it was right place, right time. But either way, he still deserves full credit for the assists, but there are other times when it can be evaluated just a little bit more deeply, and unfortunately this game just doesn't afford me that opportunity. But either way, we are actually approaching the end of the video here, and so I'm hoping that you enjoyed this video. I know this is a little bit different from how I've done commentary before, where it wasn't 100% talked over, and hopefully like the content. Of course, I'm still trying to learn. I'm trying to do a better job, so this is a more enjoyable video for you. So please don't hesitate to share your thoughts and how, or what you would like to hear, or what you think I could do differently to make it a little bit better. But thank you very much, and I hope you continue to watch and enjoy my videos. Have a good night.